Kia ora. In today's news, the Prime Minister is making no apologies for giving the United Nations and its Security Council a serve. John Key's addressed the General Assembly in New York and he's criticised the Council for its handling of the Syrian crisis. Afterwards, he told journalists that if New Zealand wins a place on the Security Council, it would push for reform, particularly when it comes to the veto power of any one of the 5 permanent members. Mr. Key says the United Nations isn't just about the 5 most powerful countries who sit permanently on the Council. He says it's a place where 192 countries come together to voice views and a forum where they are all equal. Back home, fluoride may soon be back in Hamilton's water. It was pulled from the city water supply back in June. But now a referendum and survey are underway to find out what locals really want. A poll by the Waikato Times shows 59% support for fluoridation and only 26% against. Councillor and mayoral hopeful Dave McPherson agrees that early signs point to locals wanting fluoride back in the water, and he promises he'll back the referendum despite his own personal views. It's taken 4 years and 258 authors, and now, after a week of debate with politicians, the first section of the IPCC's 5th Climate Assessment Report has been released. The report assesses the evidence for climate change and its causes. Delegates were discussing late into the night last night the final wording of the summary for policymakers. It's understood that it says scientists are more convinced than ever that the planet is warming and that humans are responsible for the majority of it, especially over the past 50 years. Team New Zealand may be down, but they're not out. The organisers of the Kiwibank New Zealander of the Year award has revealed a third of the nominations are for Dean Barker and the team. Awards manager Glyn Taylor says he's not surprised. He says Dean Barker and Team New Zealand have polarised the nation for the last couple of weeks. So now there's an outpouring of support and national pride in what they achieved. Telecom is rapidly extending its free Wi-Fi network to have 2,000 hotspots across the country by mid-2014. Tourism Industry Association Chief Executive Martin Snedden says this will be hugely of benefit to the New Zealand tourism industry. He says more free hotspots will mean happier visitors and enhance New Zealand's image as a connected nation. The 2 New Zealand Greenpeace activists who've been remanded in custody for 2 months in Russia are being assisted by the British consulate. This comes after a group of activists were detained when they attempted to climb an offshore drilling platform in the Arctic. The British representatives attended court hearings yesterday to observe proceedings. Crew members on the Arctic Sunrise are getting legal representation by Greenpeace. The New Zealand Embassy in Moscow has been told that the New Zealanders are well and they have access to basic supplies. Finally, a treasure trove of precious jewels has been found in the French Alps. A French climber found the metal box containing emeralds, sapphires and rubies, estimated to be worth between 200 and 400,000 New Zealand dollars. It's thought the jewels belonged to someone on one of 2 Air India planes that crashed into Mont Blanc in the 50s and 60s. And that's all from us for now. Thanks for watching. We'll be back on Monday, but until then, have a great weekend. Ka kite anō. Bye for now.